What's up? Welcome to Get Paid for Your Pet. Today we have a repeat guest. It's probably his third or fourth or fifth time. I can't remember. It's been so many times. But it's always a pleasure to have him on the show, Mr. Mark Simpson, also known as Mr. Book Direct, and now Mr. AI, maybe even like Mark. You've been talking a lot about AI, right?
Yeah, no, I've definitely gone down the AI rabbit hole, and yeah, I'm excited to share some tools that I've been using and how we can put it into hospitality talk.
That's right, because today we are talking about the top four tools, AI tools outside of ChatGPT, because everybody knows about ChatGPT, but nobody knows about those other tools that we can also leverage in our short-term rental business to make our business more productive and more efficient and create better experiences for our guests. So we're going to dive into four different tools that Mark has successfully implemented in his own business, and so yeah, we're excited to dive into it, Mark. Before we dive into the actual tools, like for those who haven't really been following the AI revolution, like how big of a revolution is this? Are we talking about like like internet? Are we talking about the Steam engine, or is this much smaller than that?
No, this is massive, and people are worried that AI is coming. It's not coming. It's already here. And my worry for any business who tries to bury their head in the sand is that they're going to get left behind. And you've got to be able to adapt to this because at the moment it's impacting businesses. It's not impacting your guests or Joe Public. You can maybe hear conversations here and there about it. You maybe see it on the news or whatnot, but it's not really impacting everybody. But it will do very soon. For example, Apple have just announced that Siri is getting a huge uplift in the new update that's coming in September, October. And obviously, Amazon are working on Alexa's getting a brand new update. And when that starts to happen, it's going to mean that the user experience of those devices and those voice devices is going to be like 10 times better. And so if you're not ready for it, and if you're not, like I say, bury your head in the sand, and you're going to get left behind. So the cool thing is that everything is really simple to use. It's a massive, massive time saver tool. And I like to say that it's like having the best virtual assistant, the best intern, the best person literally next to you that you can run ideas by. You can give it some tasks, give it some jobs, and the most important thing to remember is don't take it verbatim. Don't turn into a copy paste mentality, but use it as a really good like virtual assistant that's literally with you 24/7. And for the most part, it's free.
All right, well, let's dive into it. What's the first tool that you want to bring to our attention today?
So the first one, obviously, everybody should have at least checked out ChatGPT or checked out Bard. Two totally free alternatives. One's from Google, one is from OpenAI that Microsoft has sunk 10 billion into. So we're going to go on the assumption now that everybody has actually knows what they are. If you haven't, do go and check it out. It's totally free. Bard is BARD. .google.com, and ChatGPT, just Google it and the link will come up. But the first tool that I'm going to recommend for everybody is imagine having ChatGPT that follows you around the internet. And this is the first one that we're going to talk about, and it's called Monica. All of these links that I'm going to give you, I'm going to put it onto a Google Doc and give access to everybody who's listening or watching. So don't worry about that. But the first one is monica.im. And this is the way it describes it on the website, and I'm looking at it right now, is your ChatGPT powered AI assistant and all of the websites and all of the internet. So I can see it right now. I'm on Google Chrome. I'm looking to my right. There's a little pop-up in the bottom left-hand corner, and that is Monica. And whenever I need help with a translation or an explanation, or if I want to rewrite something or I want to write something, all I have to do is press Command and Q on my Chrome, and it pops up. So if, for example, there's a bit of text in front of me that maybe is in German or Dutch or Spanish or whatever, I can highlight that piece of text, and there's a little pop-up that says, do you need my help? You click that, and it comes up and it will translate it for you. For any old school Microsoft doc workers, people from back in the day, remember that little paperclip that used to follow you around when you were doing Microsoft Word back in the day? It's just this AI version of it. And all it is the power of ChatGPT, but it follows you around the internet. if you're writing a blog post, or if you're writing a Facebook or LinkedIn post or Instagram post, or anything that you're writing on your computer, you can highlight that text, you can go rewrite it, and it will do it for you. And there's many other things that they are adding into it. Super powerful little tool. It's a free service, freemium service, so you can use it up to thousands of times a month, and it's still free. Obviously, as time goes on, that will go lower and lower, as they want to, obviously these tools need to make some money in some way. So it's a really good time to get on board with it now. And like I say, I use it on a daily basis.
Right. Yeah, I'm just looking at the website. It's like the free plan has 30 queries per day.
Yeah.
Access to all basic features, but then the pro version starts at the $10 per month. So doesn't
even if
really
you
break
do
the
decide
bank.
to, yeah, exactly, it's Netflix fees. And yeah, I mean, the pro version, you get to use obviously then ChatGPT 4, which is where we're at now. So obviously for everybody who's been using it since December, you started off on ChatGPT version 3, and then we went to 3.5, which everyone was like, wow, this is amazing. And all of a sudden, OpenAI dropped version 4, which is 10 times better than anything else that's been there. And I do encourage anybody who hasn't yet tested it out. Again, ChatGPT 4 is one of the pro services, so you do have to pay for it. But again, it's less than $24 a month, and it is a very, 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 very effective, powerful tool that is out there. And Monica is one of them that can jump into it.
Right.
Talking about ChatGPT and following around the internet, one of the things that I encourage everybody to do, you can do this on Chrome. So when you open up Chrome, you can change your homepage to basically be ChatGPT. So instead of having the Google come up, change it to being ChatGPT. So also as well, when you open a new tab, have it automatically open up on ChatGPT. The reason being is that it encourages you and remembers your brain to be able to use it. So it's always there. It's really easy with a website that you're not familiar to just to forget about it or go, I'll come back to it to another day. But we've got all of our team members now at Boostly. We've got it installed on all of our Chromes, and we say, listen to everybody, every time it opens up on a homepage, every time it opens up on a new tab, make sure it opens up on ChatGPT, because then you just keep coming back to it. So that's a little tip and a little nugget as well alongside that one.
Yeah, I've noticed that ChatGPT sometimes gives way better answers to questions than Google. Right. Well, first of all, like you get a straight up answer versus you have to click on a link and then find the answer on the website, right? So
well, Google is playing catch up. There's no two ways about it, and they are trying very, very, very hard with that. Obviously, OpenAI is beating them to the punch, and obviously Google are not going to sit back and watch their whole business model crumble. And what you're going to start to notice in maybe not Q2, because obviously we're coming to the end of Q2 now, but probably maybe talking Q3 or Q4 of 2023. But you're going to notice Google make big changes to their search, big changes to their Gmail and to their Docs product, Sheets product, and it's going to be heavily AI influenced. Like we are at the start of what is going to be massive changes into all of our working and day-to-day lives, and hopefully it's going to be for the better. I mean, the whole goal with all of this is to save time. Right? The whole goal is to free up more time so that you can work, on your business, not in your business, by doing those medial tasks. And for everybody out there, you should be looking to become 30% more productive in your business without having to hire in loads and loads more people. So it's going to be a cost saving exercise as well. So always bear that in mind with anything that we're talking about here.
Awesome, man. All right, let's go to the next tool. So the first one was Monica.im.
Yeah.
Basically, it's a chat GPT that follows you around the internet. Let's go to the next one.
Yeah. So the next one is Fathom. So let me spell it for you because my British accent. FATHOM. So fathom.video. And again, I'll have the link in the Google Doc if you missed that. But the reason why I love it, Zoom has taken over so many of our lives. And within hospitality, you may not be thinking that you're going to be on, in the day-to-day run of your business, you won't be on many Zoom calls, but we're all part of masterminds, we're all parts of coaching clubs, and Zoom calls play a big part of that. And you could be sat on like a 1 hour coaching call, a 1 hour mastermind, a coaching session, or an hour and a half mastermind. You're trying to busy scribble notes, but by the end of it, you've forgotten it, or you just wish that you had a summary of it. And what Fathom does is it sits on top of Zoom. So there's no coding or anything like that. It sits within Zoom. And whenever you're on a call, it will do a full transcription, and then it will give you a full summary at the end. And what I love about this is that as soon as I've done a Zoom call, whether it's with a team member, virtual team member, or whoever, it would be a coaching client or whatnot, instead of me sending the recording now, I send the Fathom notes because you get a full summary, full breakdown, and the full notes on the back of it. And what you can do with that, which is like a little bit of an extra tip, is you can take those notes, you can paste them into ChatGPT-4, and you can say, hey, turn this into an email. So email to my assistant, or send this to, turn this into a blog post that I could potentially do, or turn this into a YouTube script where I could turn this coaching or this whatever into a YouTube video that I could do for Boostly or for whatever in the future. So it's a really, really powerful tool. Takes all the transcriptions in there. And it's for me, for Boostly, and again, I feel like for all of our members, since we started talking about it, it's a massive time saver because then they can actually be present during the training, during the mastermind, during the coaching, and then afterwards the notes have already been taken for them.
Yeah, this is massive, and it's funny because I noticed a couple of weeks ago I was on our mastermind call. We have a weekly mastermind call with our Rising Star Mastermind, and I saw like there's these two people joining, and they had like weird names that ended with AI, and like I was like, okay. Yeah. These are the note-taking bots that are now joining our calls.
That's it. Exactly that. So yeah, it's a good one. And again, not directly involved in hospitality, where Monica FM, you could definitely like plug that into hospitality. But yeah, still, I feel like every single one of us now, especially people who are watching the podcast, they're going to be part of a training program or coaching program, some way, shape, or form.
Yeah. Or like even if you have a Zoom meeting with a team member, or if you're virtual assistant, and you want one of your other team members to be aware of like what was being discussed. Yeah. It's probably more effective to send them one-page note overview summary of what is being discussed versus having to watch it like an hour Zoom call, right?
Yeah. Well, talking about virtual team members, obviously like hiring and bringing people on board is such a hard thing to do. Like at Boostly now, we're hiring close to our 50th team member. And we do a lot of training, a lot of onboarding. We've got systems and SOPs and IPOs and all these things in place that our team have built over the years. But there's actually now really good solutions that have been presented to help with that onboarding. So we're using a tool called Kodi, so CODY.ai. And what Kodi is doing is it's got the ChatGPT functionality built into it, but with ChatGPT, it's a general, you ask it a question, it will give you the answer based on all of the internet, all of the data that's out there. So with Kodi, what it does is we train it based just on our information. So we can plug into it, we upload all of our PDFs, any of our docs, it scrapes the whole of the boostly.co.uk website. And it also now we can transcribe YouTube videos and we plug that in as well. So we're using it to onboard our team members, because when a new member of staff joins, I would say that our project managers and our COO, 60% of their time is taken up from just answering those little quick questions that they have. Like, oh, so when this happened, what does this mean? So this easily eliminates so much time within the organization having to train your staff, because we can just plug in and we've trained up this bot that's doing it for us. And again, it's less than $80 a month, but we're using like the professional plan. You can get a basic version for much more a cheaper version of it. And this is specifically for those who are hiring, who are outsourcing and are building their team virtually, or even in person as well. You could have cleaners be looking at this and whatnot. All you need to do is just plug in your docs and whatnot. So yeah, that's another like a bonus tool that we have that you could easily use to train your team members up.
All right, bonus tool number 1. Well, can you spell it again?
Yeah, let me bring it up. So it's Kodi. So get Kodi. So GetCody.ai.
GetCody.ai. All right, got it.
Yeah. And
bonus tool number 1.
It is, basically, so just to very summarize, it is a chatbot. So it's a chatbot, but it's a chatbot that you're getting the best answers from. And this robot
Right.
like scrapes all of your data to give you the best answer. And then
Awesome.
the next one, again, bringing this back to business owners. So we're all who's listening to this, watching this, we're all business owners. We've all got very busy inboxes. And, you know, there are days in your inbox that you could easily spend an hour, 2 hours just answering emails. And this next tool is one that you need to take advantage of now because it is free. And we just don't know how long it's going to be around for. We don't know how long it's going to be free. With Google doing what's Google doing, you don't know how long it's going to be. It's going to be as accessible as what it is right now. But this one is called Ghostwrite. So at GHOSTWRITE.RIP. So Ghostwrite.RIP. And again, that domain will be in the doc that I'll give you at the end. And in super simple terms, what it is it sits in your Gmail inbox. And when you want to compose an email or when you want to reply to an email, it lets AI take over for you. And the responses are always professional, really well spelt. You can ask it to reply, in UK English. You can ask it to reply in US English, whatever language you want to have it to reply in. It will do it for you. And it keeps it professional. So it takes the emotion out of a reply. And the best case scenario I can give you is that, when a guest sends you a long email, shitty email, and you're just like, the rage is building up and you just want to reply back and just say the first thing that comes to your mind, which is very unprofessional, that is going to not help the situation. You can just put a pause on it. You can take all the emotion out for it and you can just hit this button and then the AI will just reply back for you. It reads the thread. It reads all of the information in it and it compiles and comprises a response based on your tone, your tonality, your language, and how you speak. Mm-hmm. Out of all the tools I'm going to give you, this is the one that I easily use at least 5 or 6 times a day. Easy.
Yeah, well, I'm definitely going to use that one because I think you spent 1 or 2 hours a day in your inbox. I don't know. I feel like I spent more than that.
Yeah, exactly. So it just takes that away.
And I love the extensions on the domain. It says ghostwrite.rip. It's just kind of hilarious, isn't it?
They're getting crazy, these domains. There's no more .coms anymore. It's
I know, right? It's like 20 years ago, everything was .com or .org. And now, you got all these different ones.
Yeah, exactly. Well, we're bringing on to the next one, which is an IO. So this is Tavis, TAVUS.io. And again, depends on how you consume this podcast or this video. You could be in the car. Please don't be trying to do this while you're driving. You could be on a dog walk, washing the pots or whatever. You could be watching this behind your desk. It would be cool if you could be checking out these while we're talking, because there's definitely one of these that's going to catch your eye. And I'll explain what Tavis is in a second. TAVUS.io. So what I want to get out of this podcast and doing this is for all the listeners to go, right, I like the look of that and I want to implement that into my business today. Because the problem with this is that there are thousands of different solutions that are popping up. As soon as OpenAI decided to open up their API and let everybody get access to it, now there's so many different tools that are being made available, and there are so many out there, and it's so easy to get overwhelmed in it. And like we always say, when you get overwhelmed, you just go, nah, this is not for me. I'll come back to this another day. But what I would love for somebody to do is just to take one of these tools and implement it into their business today and report back. Let me know on Instagram and let me know how you're doing it. But Tavis is the one that is a marketing one. And again, I think if Boostly is well known for anything, it shows you how to market your business the right way, the correct way, and how you can do it where you can generate direct bookings. And Tavis is a marketing tool because what it does is it's a very clever. So you will record one video once, spend 15-minute recording one video, and then it will send that video out thousands upon thousands of times, and you will never have to re-record it again. But it makes it super personalized. And I think the one takeaway for everybody when we talk about what's coming next in terms of marketing is personalized marketing is going to win hands down. This shotgun approach, this generic marketing isn't going to wash it anymore, especially in the world that we're moving to next. Personalized marketing is going to win. And if you've ever watched any sort of AI Hollywood movie from back in the day, a Tom Cruise movie, Minority Report, anything like that, and when he's walking down the high street and he looks at a billboard and it's literally speaking to him, we're not far away from something like that happening. So the way that I bring it back to Tavis is that you could have somebody who makes a booking with you, and as soon as that booking is made, your CRM or your PMS will send out a video that's come from you and come from Tavis that is personalized to the person who is receiving it. So, for example, if Jasper books with me, it will say, "Hi, Jasper, thanks for making the booking at da-da-da-da-da on these dates." And you've just had to record that video once, and it will send it out to thousands, hundreds of people over a course of a certain timestamp. And you've only had to do it once. And it uses AI technology. It trains it on your voice. It trains it on your facial expressions, and it makes that video record hundreds and thousands of times over. I've seen people using it for real estate. I've seen people using it for getting past gatekeepers at businesses and whatnot. It's a very, very powerful tool, and it's a video that's being sent. So again, speaking personally to the person who's receiving it. So that's tavus.io. Now that is a cost. That is probably the most expensive out of all of these. But we talk about marketing and return of investment here. Like, let's say, for example, you're doing the management model where you look to speak to landlords to take on their properties. Just imagine if you were able to get like 100 management landlords details in the area where you're at, and you wanted to get in front of them to showcase your business. One of the best ways of doing so is like a little video message. You'll record one video. This technology will then personalize it to the person that you're speaking to and send it and blast it out 1,000 times. There's some real good revenue to be made on that.
Yeah, this is huge. I'm a big believer in this type of personalized messages. It's so much more powerful than just blasting out a general message. And I think that's where things are going. Things are going even in the short rental space. Like, you see, like, things are going more towards like unique experiences, and things need to be Instagrammable, right, for people to be really interested. And I think it's the same with communication. Like, we need to up our communication standards, versus, 10 years ago, you book an Airbnb and you get this like massive long email, right? And you're like, you look at it and you're like, okay, well, I'm not reading that, right? It's like way too long. So like, this is powerful stuff.
I was going to say, you bring it back to Airbnb and bring it back to Booking.com. They've been doing this for years. A guy who I watched recently at a talk in Barcelona, he's called Evan from AI Adaptive. He's a really on the tip of this whole wave that's coming, very knowledgeable guy. And he walked through what Booking.com have been doing with their machine learning for years. Booking.com spend millions on this, and they track every single data point on their website. And what you'll notice is that if you were to go to Booking.com and you go to Amsterdam, right? And if you're looking on their page, it would look so different to if I'm looking, because it takes all of the data, it takes all of that machine learning, and it will produce different results. And the cool thing, what he did is he showcased and he walked through exactly what they're doing. And then he talks about Airbnb. And very recently, I want to say in the last 2 or 3 weeks, Brian Chesky was part of Skift, and he was on stage talking about, yes, we're going to be bringing this in. And, I think everybody knows full well that they've already been working on this for a long, long time. And rooms and passports is the start of this. So the searches, even more so now, is going to be based on the person that is doing the search. The how to rank number one on Airbnb is not going to be relevant, because it's going to be very based heavily on AI and machine learning. And if you want to look at to say, okay, so what is the signpost that this is going to happen? What's the triggers for this? Look at passports. Look at your profile now. You've got all of the extra additional things that you like, 90s references, favorite movies, and things like that. It's turning in more to a Tinder than it is to an OTA, because it's going to match up people more and more and more with their likes, their needs, and their wants. Personalized marketing, personalized search results. So again, it's definitely coming. It's definitely happening, and this is even more, elephant in the room. I talk about a lot of direct bookings. You've got to be able to mirror that in your website, your direct booking website, and you've got to be able to mirror that in the way that you communicate. And the easiest way that you can do it is find your niche, find your avatar, find your ideal guest, find what you bring to the market, what no one else does, and just hammer home on that. Because you don't have to speak to everybody with this, what we're doing now. You just have to speak to a few.
I wanted to throw in one more bonus tool here, and this is actually to your credit because you shared it in somewhere. I can't remember where you shared it, but
we did a mastermind call a couple of months back, I believe. I think that's where we were.
Yeah, no, I think it was. I think I found it somewhere else, but it's called Opus Clip, and it's AI
it was in the
powered.
Slack group. Yeah,
Yeah,
it was in
AI.
the Slack group. Yeah, that's right.
That's right. That's right. Opus Clip. It's AI powered video editing, and basically it creates out of 2 hours of video, it creates 50 downloadable clips.
Yeah.
Have you used this?
Yeah, man, 100%. So I have hired video editors for Boostly for a long time. And we've been able to 2 times their productivity by this simple tool, because what I get the video editors to do is to create one main YouTube video, but then we also create 4 or 5 shorts from that one main video that we do. And it would take them hours to do it. Now it takes minutes. And the cool thing about Opus is an Opus Pro is that now it will automatically post to your YouTube. It will automatically post to your TikTok and to your Instagram as well. And it creates the title and the caption. So the video editors that I use are fantastic at what they do, but the English language and, quality copy, they're not very good at. And, but they will self-admit that. This creates the caption. It creates the hook literally there and then as doing the video. And yeah, it's massive. And again, for a short-term rental host, how can you use this? Well, if you've got a video, if you're doing podcasts, for example, if you're a host who's doing podcasts, which I encourage everybody to do, you can record a video, you can load it in, and yeah, it's a really, really good. It's got the freemium service, free to use, but then you can pay a little bit more, and it will do all the, it will post it and do all the extra stuff for you as well.
Yeah, and I think where this is going to be super powerful is for those the ones that are marketing for new properties, right? To find more clients, find more management clients. I think this is very powerful because video content is the most powerful content that you can create, right? I don't think you agree with that, but like you have text, right? You can write a blog post, right? Where you can you have images that you could post on Instagram and Facebook, but I think video is the most powerful, but also the most, the most outside of the comfort zone, I'll say. Like, just to give you an example, like one of our one-on-one coaching clients came down for a day to San Diego. Eric and I worked with them for the whole day, and we're like, hey, we work with a really good videographer, right? So we're like, hey, man, why don't you sit down and talk about your business for 20 minutes? And then we'll cut that up into like cool little shorter videos that you can use on your website to explain to like prospective clients like who you are. And it's super powerful. But like the moment somebody puts a camera in your face and presses record, like most people kind of just completely freeze up, which I used to do the same in the beginning. I don't know about you, like.
No, I mean, I understand. I mean, now it's easy. What you've done, like 600 plus episodes, like Boostly's done 600 plus. I've got thousands of hours of videos now online where it's just normal. But if you're not used to it, it's going to feel a little bit weird. It's going to feel a little bit nerve wracking, and it's going to be a little bit out of your comfort zone. But the best place to be is always outside your comfort zone, because it means you're improving. And you're right, video is one of the easiest ways of showcasing your brand, because at the end of the day, you can't be a faceless organization moving forward. You can't be somebody that hides behind a brand anymore, especially with hospitality and what we're selling. At the end of the day, people like to buy from people. And it is very, very, very essential that everybody looks to bring in video into their marketing in 2023 and 2024. And tools like this do make it easier. Although there is one more bonus little website that I want to give you. And I have mentioned this before with the masterminds, but this is called Synthesia. So Synthesia is spelt SYNTHESIA.io. And the cool thing about that is that it is totally AI powered, AI actors. You just give them a script and then they will do the talking for you. So if you are absolutely petrified of being on camera, you can use Synthesia. You can type in the script and it will write it for you. And I know what they're doing next is that at the moment they are paying actors, celebrities, etc., and they're training their modules on their voice, on their facial expressions, etc. And in the future on Synthesia, instead of just being a no name at the moment, their avatar, you could have Snoop Dogg or Gary V or whoever sending a video message on your behalf, which is going to get crazy.
That's hilarious. But I still recommend everybody, even though you're scared, like just get in front of the camera. You don't have to be perfect. It's all about being authentic. Yeah. Well, yeah. And people want things that are real, right? So you don't need a polished, like perfectly produced video where every little hair on your face looks perfect and all of that stuff. Like that's not really what people are looking for. People are just looking for, they want to know who they're doing business with, right? And the more authentic it is, like the better.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you're the perfect attribute to that. You've now done 600 episodes of the podcast. You've got your visa. One of the main reasons why is that you've built a brand and a business, and you've just got out of there. Done is better than perfect. And you've got out and done that. And people resonate with you to the point now where, it's a massive part of the business for overnight success, etc. And it's just started off by just picking up a laptop wherever you are in the world and hitting record and getting a microphone and headphones and just doing it. Done is better than perfect. You can get better as you go. If you're at video 100 and it's worse than when you first started, then you may want to have a little think about what you're doing. But the best thing to do is just 100% just getting started. Pick up the phone and just do it. And if you can do it consistently, let's say for the next 365 days, do it consistently, good things will happen with your business. I promise you.
100%. And on that note, I want to give a couple pieces of advice to everybody who's listening now, because we did, how many tools did we cover? Like 6 or 7?
We threw in a few extras, yeah.
All right, so like you brought up consistency, right? And I 100% agree. Like results come from doing something consistently over and over again, right? So what I would recommend to everybody who's listening, don't try and use all these 6 tools in the next week. Right? Yeah. Don't try to implement all of these because then you're not going to do it consistently. Like ask yourself, like, which of these tools is going to have the biggest impact in my business, right? Pick that tool and then use it consistently for the next few months, right? And that's how you're going to get a result. So that's just my 2 cents here.
Yeah, 100%. And I promised you a link at the end to go and grab this Google Doc. So basically, if you go to boostly.co.uk/robot. So literally boostly.co.uk/robot, ROBOT. It will take you to Facebook Messenger, tap a button and it will send you to a Google Doc. And on that Google Doc, all of these links are in it. Plus every day when I discover a new tool or a new prompt or a new thing to type into ChatGPT to get results, I add it into that doc. So it's always going to be keeping updated. So go to that domain, go grab that. It's totally free and I'll keep it updated. I'll keep it like the little AI encyclopedia that we have here. So boostly.co.uk/robot. It'll divert you to Facebook Messenger. I'll ask you to tap a button and I'll send you the doc and then you're good to go.
Sweet. All right, man. Mark, always a pleasure to have you on the podcast here. I'll see you soon in our mastermind as well. And now that I'm back in the US, hopefully I'll get to see you
in October in Orlando at Verma.
Orlando, yes, I've never been to Orlando, so I'm excited to go there for sure.
There you go. Thank you for having me.
Of course, always a pleasure. And to the listeners, hope you enjoyed this podcast about AI tools. AI is definitely a topic that's going to come up a few times in the next few months here, because, like Mark said, AI is not something that's coming in the future. AI is what's here right now, and you got to start taking advantage of these tools. Like I said, don't try to use them all at once. Pick one that has the most impact for your business, use it consistently, and you're gonna get results. So thanks everybody for listening. We'll be back soon with another episode of Get Paid Free Pad. See you then.